and Anti-Mage actually doesn't have buyback for the first maybe 45 seconds of his death, and he eventually buys back and they repel the push, but let's say that fight happens like 30 seconds earlier, that could have just been a game-ending blink.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, though, LGD secures it. As you can see on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, with the standings for Group A, LGD does lead with 17 points. They are now locked in for that first place as Secret got taken down in Game 1 against Phoenix, and Fnatic now not able to have a chance to go into the top 4. And Complexity still battling it out with C9, it looks like. I mean, they still have a fight for that third-place seed. But at that point, we discussed this earlier, it's not going to matter too much because you don't have a choice. You kind of just leave it up to fate to decide who chooses you.
I just want to go, like what Ben said, I'm really impressed with Complexity. I don't mean to sound too like American biased with it, but this is a team where no one had them in their compendium to make it out from the wild card, from the whole qualifier run. They didn't have them in like their top 3 or 4, and some of these kids don't have any LAN experience whatsoever. Ziz on their team, their core carry player, this is like his first LAN is TI. And he's stepping up, and they're all doing really, really well. They're taking games off a lot of these opponents. I hope they're not underestimating him because they're clearly showing that they can adapt very well to the new meta, that play style, and make it work.
Yeah, Complexity, I mean, as they said, as the Freeman brothers were saying, I mean, and of course their teammates, they were all like, well, you know what? We actually are here just to prove everyone wrong. We thought everyone led up to was leading into TI. That's how we viewed the year. And so far, they're doing really well. Ben, do you think this is going to carry through strongly throughout the bracket stage, or as much as possible?
I think so. Just because looking at their drafts, it varies a lot. Like they play Wisp, they play Sven, they play Tusk Techies. Like you really don't know what they're going to do, and it seems like they have specific strategies tailored towards each team, and they're tailored well. And I think that they've certainly done their homework. They're not cursed by the North American instability that has plagued so many other teams in the same region, and they seem very, very determined. I think they're one of the most determined teams out there, not only to prove everyone wrong, but to secure a top placing at TI.
All right. Now, moving forward, again, every match matters a little bit here on the last day because we still have some volatile standings, especially in Group B. Group A, more or less, the top 4 bottom 4 are set. But again, C9 and Complexity still battling it out on stream 2, so you guys can go check out the end of that if you want to. But for us, we're going to start taking a look at Group B. And in their newbie, can they secure a spot or can they still move up? Can they get a win, like a series win at all in this group, or will they end with just a bunch of draws and maybe 1 or 2 losses at the end of the week? That's the big question. Their next matchup up against Vici Gaming. Dakota, what are your thoughts on newbie so far?
So far, it's feeling a bit like last year. Maybe they're playing a bit of possum, and then they creep in, and then they're TI champions. I mean, it's hard to say. Yeah, I believe coming into this day, they